Welcome to Author Timeline Thursday with a really great quote from Diana Matoso, who said, "Deadlines are not an excuse to sacrifice quality, but a reason to strive for excellence." I love that because I spent a really long time never setting a deadline, and as a result, I never actually completed a first draft. That's an embarrassing thing to admit, and yet it's completely true. And it was only after I embraced deadlines, after I embraced writing sessions, after I embraced a number of really simple things that I was successful. And by embracing the things that are required, guess what? I've written and published 50 books and counting, and that's after 15 years of utter failure on this particular front. Starting all kinds of first drafts and never getting anywhere with them because I simply couldn't do the simple things that are required. And as a result of that, this is one of the reasons why I do this video series, is I want to, if there's another me out there who's not doing the things that guarantee your success, I want to make sure that I'm a really big wake-up call for you to just do the things that are simple, that guarantee your success. Because I don't want you sitting out there for 15 years and not getting a single first draft finished. I want to make sure that's never you. So that's one of the great reasons why I do this, to make sure that the version of me that's out there that is thinking, well, I'll just wing it. I'll just play around and see what happens, and write when I feel like it. Well, guess what? If I write when I feel like it, not much happens. That's embarrassing to admit, but it's so very true. Structure is your friend. So all of that long introduction aside, hello, my name is Christopher D'Armani. It is my pleasure, it is my passion to empower aspiring Christian nonfiction writers to share their trauma to triumph journey using a complete, detailed roadmap for writing success so they can finish and publish their book and make the impact they know they were born to make. It's not a difficult thing to do. The process is very, very simple. The sitting down and doing it, well, that can be a whole different story some days, truly. Your deadline is the tool that pushes you out of your comfort zone and into that magical, mysterious place where you do your very best work. It's a place where you live in the moment, where you live in, wow, look at what's possible. And that's just a beautiful, beautiful place to be a beautiful place to play. And your deadline, when you're in that creative zone, your deadline is that pressure cooker that turns your raw words, your raw ideas, your raw thoughts, and transforms them into really beautiful, precious diamonds. It kicks open the doors of possibility. Those diamonds then kick open the doors of possibility in your reader's mind. And none of it's possible if you sit back and think, well, I'm just going to sit down and write when I feel like it, or I'm not going to write today because I don't feel like it. The person who's out there who needs your book in order to transform their life, if you won't do it for yourself, do it for them. Do it for them. And your deadline is this wonderful opportunity to motivate you to writing excellence. If you leave it to a whim, you're never going to get this done. I can speak from experience, that is true. I tried for a really long time, failed for a really long time as well, to even get a first draft done. Once I started using deadlines and the pressure that they applied on me, I happen to be a person where deadlines are really, really powerful tools. And so I embrace them wholeheartedly in every aspect of writing, because they're the thing that gives me the power to get my words out of my head, onto my page, and out into the world where they can actually do some good for someone. That's the beauty of it. So when a deadline is approaching for you, use it as an incentive to produce your very best work. Not as a reason to phone it in. Not as a reason to, well, I know I'm supposed to be done by tomorrow, and I know I haven't started yet, but I'm going to write this book in 24 hours. Well, I don't think that serves anybody. Not you, not your reader, not anybody. And aside from that, it's a disservice to God, because he calls us repeatedly to be excellent. He calls us to excellence throughout the Bible. And today we're going to talk about Colossians 3:23 in that specific regard. Let me get me out of the way. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord and not human masters. If we're working for God, if we're working for God, we're going to show up and we're going to do our very best because we owe it to Him. He's the one that gave us life. Why would we not do everything in our power to make sure that our work pleases Him? And yet, if we sit back and do nothing and phone it in, we're dishonoring Him, we're dishonoring ourselves, and we're dishonoring our eventual reader. Work at it as for working for the Lord, not for your human masters. Hard work truly is service to God. Hard work is service to God. And it's also that path to fulfillment. Lately I've had Kennedy's quote from 1962, I think it was, when he gave that commission to the United States to go to the moon and back, take a man to the moon and bring him home safely. We don't do these things because they're easy, he said. We do these things because they are hard. And it's in doing the hard things that we find fulfillment, that we find true joy. So it's also that the pathway to, service to God. Do the hard things. Do it as a service to your readers as well. Do your very best work, because your reader is the person who's going to either transform their life with your words or be left in that pit of despair that you found them in. I would hope you don't want to do that. So here's a couple of ideas that I hope you will find useful. Let me get me out of the way again. Set realistic deadlines. Set deadlines that challenge you to write more words in less time. Because especially when you're writing your first draft, speed is your greatest ally. It truly is. Get the words out of your head onto that page as fast as you possibly can. Because if you write at whatever pace you feel like writing with, you're in your version of what I call the infernal editor, the jerk that lives up here and tells me how useless and how I can't write, and like, why do I even bother? It's nothing but lies, obviously, for starters. But if I allow him to get a toehold in my mind, then the words don't come out, because I get wrapped up in that whole notion that, well, if the sentence isn't perfect, I can't write it. The whole point of a first draft is to get the stuff out of your head onto the page and fix it later. You can't fix a blank page, but you can really do a lot of great things with a page filled with imperfect words. So set realistic deadlines that challenge you to get all of those words out in a very short period of time. And then speed is your friend, as I said. Speed is your greatest ally when you're writing your first draft, so push yourself to write faster every single day. Every single day. And then make excellence your constant objective. Strive for excellence every single day. And when that first draft is written, well, before the first draft, apply diligence to getting that first draft written. Schedule, and I talk about this all the time. I know I do it. But I talk about it all the time because it's so important and it's so beneficial, and because it works. Schedule your writing sessions, number 1. Schedule your writing sessions. Number 2, show up. Show up. And do that whether you feel like it or not. That's number 3. Whether you feel like it or not. Approach writing as that act of service to God, and do it with great care and great dedication. Amazing things will happen when you do. Deadlines drive excellence. If you take nothing else away from today, take this away. Your deadline is what drives excellence in your writing. Set those daily appointments to write. Keep those appointments. And show up to write whether you feel like it or not. Please. It's this commitment, this duty, this responsibility, both to God and to your reader. Get the book done. Get it out into the world where it can work its magic. It can't do anything stuck up in here. Simply can't. It can't. So with that, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I would also love to connect with you on social media. Please go to writingcoach.pro/Christopher. You'll find links to all my social media accounts there and a couple of other free tidbits that I think will help you in your journey down Publication Highway. So with that, have a fantastic rest of your day.